What if the title Best Lawyer isn't a badge of honor, but a gilded cage, where winning cases means losing yourself, and the only verdict that matters is the one you've been avoiding in the mirror? In The Best Lawyer, Robin James delivers a legal drama that strips away courtroom theatrics to expose the raw, human cost of perfectionism, proving that true advocacy begins not with arguments, but with the terrifying act of admitting you're broken. This isn't merely another legal thriller with high-stakes trials. It's a psychologically precise exploration of burnout, identity, and the radical courage required to redefine success when your worth has been tethered to victory for decades. From the first wary narration, listeners are seated in a world where every acquittal feels like erosion, and every client's pain echoes your own unprocessed grief. Perfect for fans of character-driven legal fiction and stories where healing happens off the record, this audiobook serves up relentless emotional honesty, moral complexity, and a protagonist whose journey from celebrated attorney to reclaimed human resonates with anyone who's ever confused achievement with belonging. When renowned defense attorney Mara Chen is forced to take a sabbatical after a public breakdown during closing arguments, she expects professional exile, not to be drawn back into law through a pro bono case that mirrors the trauma she spent her career outrunning. But as she defends a young woman accused of arson in a gentrifying neighborhood, Mara realizes this trial isn't about guilt or innocence. It's about confronting the systemic failures her own success helped obscure. James masterfully avoids reducing Mara to tragic heroine or the legal system to monolithic villain. Instead, they craft a narrative where justice is negotiated in gray zones, where competence includes vulnerability, and where the real case isn't in the docket, it's in the silence between heartbeats. The audiobook narration amplifies this introspective tension, capturing Mara's polished cadence fracturing into raw authenticity, while secondary voices shift subtly between admiration and concern, making every interaction feel loaded with unspoken reckoning. You don't just hear her return to law, you feel the seismic shift of a woman learning that integrity isn't measured in wins, but in willingness to be seen. What elevates The Best Lawyer beyond typical legal dramas is its nuanced portrayal of female excellence as both armor and wound. Mara isn't merely rebuilding her career, she's dismantling the belief that value equals utility, challenging the notion that rest is failure. Her relationship with her client evolves through acts of radical witness, listening without agenda during jailhouse visits, protecting her dignity against media caricature, and honoring her rage as much as her testimony. Supporting characters shine with uncomfortable authenticity, colleagues whose praise masks envy, mentors whose wisdom carries complicity, even the courthouse itself, rendered as living archive whose marble halls absorb centuries of compromised selves. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In professions built on performance, presence is rebellion, and healing requires stepping off the pedestal. Even the legal mechanics serve thematic depth, with discovery mirroring emotional excavation and cross-examination becoming metaphor for self-interrogation. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive exercise in quiet devastation. The narrator embodies Mara's evolving perspective with remarkable range, from rehearsed courtroom authority to trembling vulnerability in private moments, while supporting characters are distinguished through vocal textures that hint at hidden judgments without telegraphing outcomes. Sound design enhances intimacy without gimmickry, distant city hums marking isolation, rain against office windows during confessions, the hushed rustle of case files syncing with breath during moments of clarity, all ground psychological stakes and sensory reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of recovery, deliberate during reflection and connection, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal breakthroughs. Whether you're commuting through urban chaos or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where stillness feels sacred and truth feels a lifeline. It's storytelling as embodied accountability, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey where justice demands more than skill, it demands surrender. Ultimately, The Best Lawyer redefines legal fiction by centering female humanity within professional frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for ethical complexity and emotional payoff, while delivering substantive commentary on burnout culture, masculine-coded excellence, and the radical act of choosing self over status. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether success requires self-erasure, or if true strength lies in softness, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most important verdict happens outside the courtroom, in the quiet choice to stop performing and start living. Press play, set down the briefcase, and prepare to believe that even in worlds defined by winning, hearts still find ways to be enough. Your next favorite legal story isn't waiting in triumphant closings. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to lose the title and find yourself.